we need to think of a new advert for freebets.com.
Get your best betting offers from freebets.com.
Yeah, that'll do.
The following deals are now live.
Matt Lenihan Boxing Social in association with freebets.com, Forge Irish Stout, ready to fight an Empire Fight Store. We're here, British champion Dalton Smith. Dalton, it's been put through your paces. Before we start, good Christmas, good New Year?
Yeah, good Christmas, good New Year. You know, I'm usually in camp by this time, so it's been nice to, enjoy it, spend time with the family and that. So yeah, it's been good.
It was a good year for you last year. You managed to pick up some titles, obviously a British title. I know it was close to yourself and Grant's heart, but you've been wanting to kick on now. You spent a little bit of time in America also, I know, because I remember seeing you out there. What was that experience like last year? Yeah, it was sensible though, I have to say, you were sensible. But you have had that experience of being in a different climate, different environment to home comforts here. What sort of have you took away from that experience, sparring likes with Vergil, Ortiz and all these different fighters?
Obviously it's all good, it's all in the bag, but it's not something new to me. Obviously I did it through the amateurs, been to America a few times training in the high altitude, so it's just good to refresh things. If you've got a bit of time, go out, learn new things, and it definitely puts it in good stead. So like I say, it's about trying to improve all the time.
I know you'll be eager to get out, and I think without obviously confirming anything, rumour mills online saying there'll be a show at some point in Sheffield. We're here in March. I know you might not be able to confirm anything, but you've sort of taken that role now as, look, I'm the new headliner now for this city. But you must be buzzing with that opportunity, and you're gonna get yourself back out there. Hopefully, fingers crossed if everything aligns itself, and to put on another performance. How proud are you now that you're that guy now for Sheffield?
Yeah, I mean, it's it makes you feel good. The hard work's paying off, and those hard days in the gym, pushing towards those dreams, and making them into reality now. So yeah, hopefully back out end of March time, just working on a few things, for the next fight. So yeah, hopefully at the end of March we can have another big headline.
I feel like your career to this point, it's been managed really well in terms of your level of opponents, and you're slowly just now creeping up. What type of opponent are we going to be seeing? You always said that British title. We're looking at European fringe world level. What type of guy are we looking at for you next?
He's definitely going to be up there world level. The names what we're working on and trying to get finalised. There's some tough fights there. The fight's what I need to push me on to that next level. So. The next opponent, hopefully if it comes off, it'll be a big one.
You were there over in, I saw you, I think I had a chat with you in San Fran because you came to watch Devin Haney against Regis Prograis. I know you were out there obviously supporting the boys over there, Junaid, Sonny Edwards. What was that sort of like over there? There was a lot that went on that fight week actually. There was a little bit of a viral video, a bit of a ruckus. Junaid spoke to him, he said, look, I'm a bit disappointed but got through things outside the ring, etc. But he didn't want to go into it, but it's a learning lesson for him. Sonny put on an incredible effort against probably pound for pound one of the best in the world, and he was in the fight and he did his best in there. What have you taken away from that? Because it's obviously I know how tight knit you boys are.
Yep. It just comes down to the good old boxing. Highs to the highs, lowest to the lows, and sometimes the cookie doesn't crumble. You know what I mean? It's you come up short sometimes. So yeah, although it was a good trip, got out to America and. It's a bit unfortunate we came up short with Sonny. Junaid, like he says, good learning fight for him. Learned a lot from that, and I'll put him in good stead for the next one.
Do you find yourself now, having obviously been at the level like your Junaids at, and obviously Nico and all these, do they ever sort of have a sort of lean on you for advice, or do you find yourself sometimes helping them, saying, look, I remember this and this. You mentioned off camera, look, I remember going abroad and having a bloody hard fight, hitting him with everything, and didn't always work out like that. Have you been able to pass your knowledge on to these boys? Yeah,
I try my best, and after Junaid's fight, he'll be a bit disheartened because I've not performed how I wanted to perform, and I said to him, sometimes you can be a bit complacent, everything's going well, and then you become a bit unstuck in a fight, and like I said, I've done that myself in around a similar stage to Junaid. My first 10-rounder against a tough kid, and you get to around 5-6, you think, I'm feeling this a little bit, and I made sure next time I went into a ring and I was never not fit for 12 rounds. So especially fighters, boxers, we're a funny breed. Sometimes you have to learn the hard way. and us learning the hard way is getting a smack in the face. So yeah, it's all learning, and like you say, it's the end destination where we're gonna finish.
I suppose it's better learning now and getting the victory rather than getting to that point and then finding out against maybe an elite level opponent who's been there and seen there and done it all. Look, in terms of yourself, your game, I feel like it's developed so much over the past 12 or 18 months. You're adding stuff to it all the time. Still very young in the game, even though you've accomplished, titles. What's been the biggest sort of, I wouldn't say turning point for you, but your biggest improvement, the biggest sort of change you've seen in yourself? Is it whether you've polished up certain things? Is it your patience? What is it in there? Because you have been changes.
Yeah, do you know what it is? It's getting out of the bad habits. When you've done them for years, especially through amateurs and stuff, sometimes they're hard to break. But, this is why we have a certain amount of fights. We don't rush it too much, because every fight you have is a little step up. So then you need to step up your game every fight until you get to the world levels, and and still again you're still improving every fight. So like I said, nobody's a finished product. Every time they go in the gym, every time they have a fight, you've got to learn something. And I'm at that mature age now where I'm understanding that I've got to learn. I've got to be in the gym. Not that I'm not ever in the gym, but you've got to work on your faults. You've got to sit, watch yourself, look where your mistakes are, and improve on them. And that's what it's about. So every time I go in the ring, my opponents step up, and so do I.
But you're at this point now. You're building yourself up again, so you're building yourself to be this number one guy in Sheffield. We've seen it over the years with the likes of Kelbrook and in Yorkshire, especially with you, Josh Warringtons. But how far do you believe you are off reaching the heights of world level? Know where you're at now, and you still need the fights. But are you looking, maybe after this 12 months is done, or maybe back end of this year, you're knocking on the door of them sort of fringe world level world titles?
Yeah, I think definitely towards the end of the year I want to be definitely pushing on to those big fights, the world titles and stuff. So, but, you look at the 140 division, it's stacked.
What are the names that stand out to you? You must look now and go, you know what, I would love that fight, because whether it be domestic or at title level, I mean, look at them names now, and you imagine bringing your Tiafimas, all these other guys. You imagine bringing them over here, or you going over there. How big that would be? That's
it. I mean, you look at every sanctioning body, every world title, every name is as strong, could be in the top pound for pound. But for me, the weakest one at the minute is Roller. And, if someone was like, oh, you're going to pick, it'd be Rolly. But at the end of the day, as soon as I'm knocking on that door for the big fights, I prove myself, I'll be ready, and, I'm confident I can get in with any of them.
What did you make of his O'Hara, Davies and Barroso? Whereas on the other night, O'Hara, he's come out and said, look, made a mistake, got caught for it, you paid for it. Barroso, even at that age, he proves, doesn't he? The last thing to go is power, and he executed it well. What did you make of it?
That's it, and like you said, he can't buy experience. It was good for O'Hara. I like O'Hara. He's always been respectful, good guy. Always said nice things to me. So, I actually like O'Hara. Just a shame, it didn't go the way he wanted to. But like I said, that's boxing. We make mistakes, and like I said, the mistakes for us is getting put on his arse. But it's how we come back, how we learn from them.
You two ever dance? You think you two ever share a ring?
It's we're the same weight. It's a possibility. We sparred in that before, but like you say, you can never say never.
When you go to them big shows, obviously San Fran, Haney, Progrès, what do you take away from that? Do you sort of look at the event and how it's done, picture yourself there, take away what you would do, wouldn't do? What's it like being an experience in these mega events? Because now you're learning to be that lead guy, the guy who's carrying a show. Seen obviously Devon do it, obviously Sonny and Bam. What do you take away from these big events?
Just keep working hard. Obviously, I'm not at the destination I want to be at yet. The pinnacle is, the big nights with the likes of Devin Hearn and Ryan Garcia, selling out Hillsborough Stadium. That's what I'm pushing towards, and these are the big fights I'm going to be in.
Is that the pinnacle for you? When people talk about where they want to go, because it's always your Vegas. Is Hillsborough that for you, or is it that as well as America? How does that work in your mind?
I think number one's definitely Hillsborough. Wanting to do that for so long, and to finally materialise it'll be a dream come true, and the cherry on the top of my career. But once I've accomplished that, we'll get a big fight in Vegas, tick that off the boxes, and like I say, just keep working hard and chasing my dreams.
Absolutely. Well, look, Dalton, appreciate you giving us some of this time, and you've been hard at it. We've seen you come in and do a session. We'll catch up again soon once you've got a fight announced, hopefully March, and we'll catch up then.
Top man, thank you.
We need to think of a new advert for freebets.com.
Get your best betting offers from freebets.com.
Yeah, that'll do.
The following deals are now live.